are here in the radio station KCIW of Brookings, Oregon, a special gift from all of our community members to the world. We have an online website where people can go to kciw.org to hear all of our past and present stories and listen live. And we're on the Quality Living with Peaceful Support show. A lot of people say, what is quality living and what is peaceful support? Some know about it, they want more of it. And so that's what we bring to our community, is ways to access and ignite quality living with peaceful support within ourselves and our community and beyond. We bring in different special guests. And I'm Amanda Whittemore. You can reach me at Reps Gym or here at contact@kciw.org. Our super important, as we all are in this universe, our guest of the day is Cara Ringland, an iridologist, a holistic healer, a magical mother, a spiritual guide, and a creator of more magnificent events than I've ever experienced from anybody else. And I want to give a big honor. And if everybody out there listening could give a round of applause to Cara Ringland.
Well, thank you, Amanda. It's such an honor to be here today. I have enjoyed collaborating with you on numerous events, and I will begin by introducing myself. I am Cara Ringland. I am a practicing naturopath by trade. I did an apprenticeship for 6,000 hours under Dr. Carol Geck and focused primarily on iridology, which is the study of the iris of the eye, looking at it for genetic strengths and weaknesses in the constitution of the body. You can also see personality traits that we inherit from our family lineage, and this information helps people to create a lifestyle plan that supports their optimal wellness. So my goal is to bring quality living to each individual body. My brand is Body Temple Health. So my primary focus is making our home, our sanctuary, our physical body, a place where our soul wants to take up residence and we can live an active, purposeful life. Now, Amanda and we have hosted the International Yoga Gathering last June for solstice. And we are putting together the next one, which will be June 21st of 2025 at the Azalea Park here in Brookings, Oregon. And why do I love Brookings? It is such a natural setting. It brings you into a state of awareness just by noticing how beautiful the land is and the air quality with all the negative ions from the ocean, the people who live there. You really see the sense of living close to the earth. And I feel that most of us in our life have come far away from our natural way of living. And so we want to return, in essence, to the garden, to the natural way of living. And I just wrote a book called Awaken and Become a Tree of Life, Always Be Cleansing. And it's the building blocks to self-care based on looking at our body as a tree. How do we nourish our physical vessel, our body, with the proper food, the proper care, so that we become fruitful trees? And I look at our fruits as our gifts, our talents, our passions. Who are we? What makes us up? How can we give back to our communities? And the most important thing is from a filled cup. So most of us are working in a state of depletion, whether it's physical or emotional. If we can fill ourselves up, we can be of good service to our community members and everyone around us.
Most true.
Yeah.
These are...
So, did you have a question for me?
Go for it. If you're...
Well, we ask ourselves, what do we fill up on? So most of us have been conditioned by our families, our culture, to fill up on things that are instant gratification. So whether it's food or media, the substances, we really are distracting ourselves on these instant pleasures, essentially. And these are what has taken the quality out of our life.
Mm-hmm.
Often we're going for quantity or that quick fix. And when we can take a deep breath and slow things down, we become more aware of our actions, our words, and our deeds. And we come into alignment with our highest frequency of living, which means good food, good water, good people, beautiful environments. Then we are actually filling ourselves up with an authentic kind of fuel versus kind of a Band-Aid that just fulfills us for a short minute, but often renders side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our diseases today are based in being out of balance. A lot of it starts with the mind, and feeling that sense of unrest is what often drives us to make the poor choices that create poor health. So when we can slow down into all forms of mindfulness practices, I feel that even eating becomes a meditation when we are truly aware of what we put into our mouths and why we actually activate the food to help our cells accelerate and grow. And that's where sometimes we call it a blessing. But when we take our time to connect with our food and know that it's nourishment for our physical body so that we can live a life of fulfillment, we need our vehicles. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we're walking around with pain oftentimes. And so I'm listening.
And with like when I have so much to say with this, and with walking around, I'll go backwards. Walking around with pain, so much of us use everything you just said to just simply cover it up and mask it and just power through it and just think that we're just being the champions to just power through all this pain and just, like you said, just eating that thing for the quick fix to just get rid of the sensation and just keep working or get, the irritation and just take that pill or that whatever it is to pacify the moment when there's really deep work to be done.
Deep work. And I think that's where peaceful support really steps in as an ally for quality living. A lot of us who are seeking wellness in this day and age feel often like we're being isolated from the traditions of our culture, like eating out or going to the bar or watching movies and mindless television. What I find is with peaceful support, we create communities. Mm-hmm. And like what I've expressed in my book, we're creating forests of quality trees of life. When we are supercharging our physical vessels, we alight and our cells become alive. Our mind, our creativity, we become more collaborative. And then we have an ecosystem, a community that we've created.
By literally reforesting our planets from within, with actually as giving ourselves a body planet and our actual physical planet, we're reforesting as our trees of life. That is so beautiful.
Especially when we look at the world today of pollution. I mean, we come from the 90s when recycling and taking care of the earth was kind of becoming new and really broad spectrum. Mm-hmm. What I called for people to do is to start considering their body as a planet and taking care of it. Let's reduce the pollution. Let's clean it up where there's illness and disturbances. And let's reset the system so that we can have a healthy ecosystem within and without. Then we're affecting our people around us positively. I feel like we could change the concept of war if we can come into peace within our own human bodies, then we will have peaceful interactions. We have peaceful support in our communities. We don't have to be in competition, manipulation, or control. And maybe we can stop fighting amongst ourselves.
It's so true. And when you say these, and it comes from the things that we listen to via, the television or the radio, even like we're here now. And, when we get fuel, where we get our fuel from, as you were mentioning, with listening through our ears get fuel from these words, and then we repeat them and we sing these words that affect our vibration of our innermost self, and it ripples out to our community. When I learned about that, and I realized the consciousness of like not just what I'm putting in my mouth, but what I'm putting in my ears, just like this radio station.
Absolutely. And what you're speaking. So what I really anchor in with the body temple concept is if what we're putting in our mouth is illuminating ourselves, then what we speak and comes out of our mouths is illuminating for others. Then we become a vessel of light, literally and figuratively shedding illumination into dark places. And it's not about penetrating light. It's not like converting people or going out on a bandwagon. No, this is about emoting light, becoming one in the body and the mind, and the heart-mind connection they talk about is coming into union so that we're no longer duplicitous, but we're of one mind. And that's where our integrity is built. And that's where we can build real healthy communities, is when everybody's coming together with integrity.
And it's so funny because I'm out at the river today, just soaking up being alive and living out in nature with this phenomenal area of Brookings that we have. And that came to topic was through song and praises and whatever ethnic or cultural way the songs come through, they tend to always go back to the Babylon or like the story of Babel, and people question, what is that even talking about? And I literally, as you're saying that right now, the multifaceted way of finding that oneness within is really the answer. And everything in society has aimed to chop it down. And it's so weird.
Yeah. If you really look at the cultural study, my teacher, Dr. Carol Geck, she spoke a lot about the early 1940s. And that is really when a lot of commercialized food, media, everything became globalized. And we started shipping a lot of the food that was being mass produced in the United States all around the world as well. And I personally feel that the quality of the food has been a primary way of generating illnesses. And we need to come back again to nature. Let's make sure we support our farmers markets this summer, because our farmers are important. We need to be making our food with our own hands, because the awareness of the energy that it takes to grow a fruit or a vegetable, or even to butcher an animal, is so important to have the value. And today, all of our food is denatured. It has the additives, the preservatives, the chemicals. Then you get into cosmetics and skincare. And today, our people, and especially our young people, are being promoted to use a lot of skin stuff that is actually highly toxic. And within 26 seconds, anything you put on your skin goes directly into your bloodstream. If you cannot eat it, you should not put it on your skin. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge part of body temple health that I bring to the forefront, is purification practices and the fact that we're missing the temple in our lives today. It used to be in ancient Egypt, Greece. You travel around into Mayan communities. They had bathing rituals. They took care of the skin, the as within, so without.
Correct.
They took care of the internal body. They took care of their spiritual body by going to the temple and seeking meditation. And then they also did these purification practices. And the Dead Sea Scrolls is a huge part of my education. And the Essene Gospel of Peace in particular highlights a number of cleansing practices that the Essenes were utilizing shortly after Jesus' death in the historical account. Now, these scrolls, they were found in the early 1940s, and that has begun a whole movement called the Biogenic Society that really works on cleansing the body with the elements. So you call upon the air, the water, the earth, and the sunlight to be able to restore the wellness of the skin and the digestive system. So I teach a lot about hydrotherapy and using water predominantly. And of course, you can use clays and different earth elements. And then we do breath work and, of course, sitting with the sun. So it's all about using our natural elements, just like our great-great-grandfathers did when they were roaming the earth long before many of these diseases had become so rampant.
That's how we got here, truly is with nature's support. And can you say to our listeners here how you got drawn to iridology and a little bit more about what they may receive in a session with you?
Yeah, so with iridology, you can send a photograph to me at Cara at bodytemplehealth.com. You can also call me at 530-263-2125 or text me there. And I can certainly work with you with a photograph that can be taken on anyone's phone. I look at the color of the eyes to show the genetic strengths and weaknesses of the body and the structure. So the iris itself is the thumbprint of your genetic information. The whites of the eyes are more of your current inflammation. So between the two, I look and see what systems need support for the wellness of the entire body. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll see, say, skin issues, but they actually reflect kidney distress or digestive disturbances. And maybe a skin doctor may not consider all of that. And I work well with translating blood work and advocating for allopathic assistance. I'm all about getting your baselines. I'm not here to diagnose or prescribe or substitute for any form of medication or medical care. I'm here for people to become a good steward of their body temple and use all of their resources for preventative health. And because we are in such a polluted world, how to be able to restore our wellness through natural means. And often we need to use our allopathic means as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then reading usually takes about an hour. And I have several packages and tiers that include coaching or just information. Basically, with the picture of your eye, you can discover what your genetics are, what your grandparents handed to you for your structure. Are you more prone to illness and sickness? Do you handle stress well? How are you with relating to people can also be revealed. And I find it's a blueprint or a user's manual for you to understand how you tick. Mm-hmm. And rather than making it a shame or trying to make yourself like someone else, you get to accept yourself for who you are and learn how to use that for your strengths.
Mm. And yeah. So with your book, how do they get your book? Does that come with the session?
The book you can find on my Instagram at Body Temple Health. I have all the links listed there. I also have a Kindle edition now available, and we will be recording an Audible soon. And usually with my naturopathic or with my packages, the book comes with the package, and you'll send your iPhoto in depending on what package you want. You'll get the book as well as the reading. And for the more intensive grades, I also add a 1-hour Zoom call so we can go over the findings together.
That's juicy.
Mm-hmm. It's been fun.
Yes, and it's complete. It feels, when I hear this, it feels like that's everything somebody would want.
Well, it's a non-invasive way of taking an idea of scanning your body, essentially. And as you know, if you've seen anyone who's sick, you can see the windows of the souls are in their eyes. So when the eyes are glassy, red, inflamed, weepy, it usually is indicative of some kind of imbalance going on in the body. So it's a great way of looking to see. And what I usually can tell is if there's a need for a specific test, or if there is a condition that might be brewing that a lot of blood tests may not be able to identify because their ranges are so large. So, like, for instance, with thyroid conditions, I used to never test for an issue with the thyroid, but I've seen a mark in my eyes since I was young. And it did manifest into a Hashimoto's situation a couple of years ago. Now, I use the practices that I've written down in this book, Awaken and Become a Tree of Life, because it's all about the cleansing of the organs on a daily basis, not just detoxification, which is like your spring or fall cleaning. Always be cleansing means taking out the trash every day, getting the colon moving, taking care of the kidneys, the skin, and the lungs, and the liver. And so doing that and working with this method, I was able to reverse all of my Hashimoto's symptoms and the blood work, and I did not take any medications. I also shrunk ovarian cysts in about 6 weeks of my Master Cleanse program that I wrote about as well. And I did that all while sustaining my weight because I don't need to lose weight. And so I wanted to experiment with how we can become well without exhausting ourselves, because I went through years of quote cleansing that was just depleting myself and making it so that I was starving. So this is about hypernutrition. This is about nutraceutical dosages of food and vitamins and minerals so that you can really give your cells the fuel to reverse conditions and to restore wellness.
This is genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just, all those listeners who want to sign up, Cara, you have your email and phone number again. We have a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to the listeners, and we just go ahead and please do give them.
Yes. Well, I want to say, first of all, thank you to Amanda Whittemore, the founder of Peaceful Support in Brookings, Oregon, that offers assistance to elderly care and is a death doula. This is a huge service for your community, and Brookings, Oregon is just incredible. Thank you for having me. I also wanted to say thank you to my mother, Kim Ringland, who I know you know, Amanda. She spoke often of intentional living, which I see as quality living. It's about being deliberate, knowing what you're doing and why, and doing it that is a way of cultivating joy in your life and for others around you. So like they say, smile until your liver smiles. And that to me is the level of quality living. And so I just want to say thank you again for having me on this show. I think that you're doing a great thing by highlighting this topic in Brookings, Oregon, and all the work that you do with Peaceful Support. I've seen it firsthand. You are a loving person who's an incredible asset for families who may be in need of support, peaceful support, there in Brookings, Oregon, with their elderly or their loved one. And as far as for reaching me, you can contact me at 530-263-2125 or at Body Temple Health on my Instagram or Facebook page. And you can email me at Cara, C-A-R-A, at bodytemplehealth.com. Thank you so much for having me. And you can also find me at Eyenalysis. That's my modality where I'm doing the Iridology. And I'm eager to be going to another class this week. and I'll be getting my certifications for teaching this year. So anyone interested in becoming an iridologist, please reach out. I am looking to get some interns on my staff.
Oh my heavens, you are the best. And I am definitely signing up already. I'm going all the way. It's just calling me through everything I've seen, through that your gift that you have, and you're just ignited with this passion that is true. Everything rings true. And so it's with honor to be able to introduce everybody here on KCIW to Cara Ringland, the Iridologist, Iridology. And there's so much more information, and hopefully, Cara, you'll be able to join us on a regular, and listeners can be able to possibly even we can bring in a set of
iPhotos.
Yeah, into the studio, and we could even do an example session of what exactly is this, so people can have a more tangible idea.
I would love that.
Okay.
And don't forget, International Yoga Gathering, June 21st of 2025. I will have my camera there, and I hope to come to Brookings again before then, and we'll be announcing dates so you can have a professional iPhoto taken if you would like.
That is a true gift. Even if it's just something that people are curious about, even if they don't want to do all the work, because it is doing the work. It's it's something worth having, and it's sacred to each individual.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about eyes that are different. It's not a blanket statement. Each person is an individual, and you can have your healthcare plan tailored to your needs.
Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, KCIW listeners, any questions, do give a call or an email to Cara's information. I will also have it available online for our global audience at our podcast at qualityliving.kciw.org. And we also have a general email in case you want to just start there, contact@kciw.org. And it's been a pleasure having Cara Ringland here on the Quality Living with Peaceful Support program. Thank you, Cara.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's such a gift, and we look forward to having you in Brookings more and more and more.
Yes, I look forward to being on Quality Living show more too as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.